what's up? It's your girl Tamara, a.k.a. Girl from Harlem.
And this is Ray Daniels, a.k.a. the Culture Referee.
And this is The Guy Show.
And, you know, this is one of those shows where the show is not official until this guest was there. Right? This guy right here is a hip-hop historian. I feel like now everybody's like cherishing culture and moments in life and all that other shit. And this guy has been on it before. And he was in the future.
Right.
Like when niggas was too cool to ask for certain autographs, certain things, certain shit that nigga just felt like I ain't gonna do that right now. He knew in 2023 I'm gonna have that shit and everybody gonna want to know about that shit. And I'm gonna bring it to the artists so they can see I did it too. I call him a legend. It's my bro. Shout out. Welcome, my bro, New Face.
Thank you.
New Face, the hip-hop historian.
Man, I appreciate that, and it's an honor to even be here, man. You know what I'm saying? I study the greats, and y'all one of them. And congratulations on y'all journey, too, man.
Thank you.
I take
Thank
notes,
you.
you know what I'm saying? So it's an honor to be here.
We need a New Face was there sticker. I know it's the hashtag, but we need a New Face was there sticker so that way when people come here, they could be like, okay, New Face is here. Like
here.
if LL Cool J walked in here right now, he gonna be like, was New Face was? Oh, I ain't there.
Yeah.
New Face was here. New Face, he hit the proof.
And that's how it started. I started the New Face was there hashtag, but the people was like, oh, now it's official.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, now it's official. The New Face said, or it didn't happen if New Face wasn't there.
But it's also interesting, Tamara, because once you hear it, you see it everywhere. That's the crazy part.
Now it's embedded.
So it's like, because the first time I really caught on to it was at the Versus. When we was at the Versus, A-Ball and MJG and UGK.
You had a ball at that.
Oh, nah.
Oh, yeah,
but he was in the front row. He was in the front row with all of this memorabilia. And I was like, the fuck is that? And then it was like, I started doing my research. And then it was like, everybody posts New Face. I mean, Tip, LL, I don't give a fuck who you are. Everybody posted now. So I'm like, fuck. It was right under my nose the whole time. I promise you're going to see it everywhere you go. Anybody listening to this is going to see it now and be like, fuck, I see that everywhere. When you see it, it's him.
So you kind of seem like the first person who kind of knew the value of hip-hop. You knew from the beginning. Like, you said you have cassette tapes. So tell me what got you into. First of all, where are you from? And like,
I'm originally born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, right off 7 Mile. And then Marlow, west side of Detroit, you know what I'm saying, in the hood. But it was actually a hip-hop shop right next to me, and that's where Eminem was, like, kind of discovered. He was freestyling there with Slum Village and Proof, rest in peace, Proof. All those guys was there, so imagine, you know, and you said the first, and I always give inspiration, like, you know, somebody like Fab Five Freddy. So when I was watching TV, you see somebody in the West Coast interviewing NWA, he was there. You see somebody in the dungeon interviewing Outkast and Goody Mob, and he was there, you know what I'm saying? So that was really, like, I didn't know it, but I was like, I want to do that. Like, you know, I didn't know interviewing and stuff. I didn't want to meet the people, but I wanted to just be there to be, you know, see what that was. And so born and raised in Detroit, to answer your question. And it started from my father, you know, like, took me to my first hip hop show.
What was that? I'm sorry, I want to know.
Oh, yeah. So it started with, he just took me and my cousin to the mall, right? And he bought us these Adidas tracksuits, the black with the 3 red stripes. Yeah. Not just the suits, the shirt, the match, and the shell-toe Adidas, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm about to kill him at school tomorrow. I'm thinking that's it. Like, and he could have, I say this all the time, like, Daddy could have bounced on me, and I would have been like, cool, you did your shit. Like, exactly. I got it from here type shit. But no, we was like, change it. We all changing. We going to Cobo Hall, which was this arena, Joe Louis Arena, and that's where the concerts always went down. So I go in there, and I'm like, what is this? Because this is where you would go if it was a circus, you know? So when I go in there and I see 3 white boys on the stage, fight for your right to party. It's the Beastie Boys. And I'm just looking at everybody. And then the next person come on, and this dude just sitting on the radio rapping. This is LL Cool J. And then we get to the next act, and it's fucking Run DMC.
wow.
But I'm a kid, and then they get to this part where they say, if you got Adidas, take your shoes off and put them in the air. And I'm a kid, and I'm like, and I seen other people doing this, and I'm looking at like, oh shit. Oh, okay, Pop. Oh, I see what this is. And then so I seen the universal of the shit. I'm like, oh, this what I need to be a part of. This right here. Whatever this is right here, I need to be a part of this. And I not threw away, but I was collecting toys and Transformers, G.I. Joes, cartoons, basketball cards. Now it was all hip hop, rap tapes, vinyls, magazines. Like I'm full on hip hop. Like so that's really where the love started from.
That's dope. That's dope. Tell me a little bit about the stuff you have right here in front of us. What we got here? You got some toys.
So like Ray say, like I'm a collector, and I just don't throw stuff away. Like I was raised with like my grandmother, and she would be like, everything old becomes new, and she never threw anything away.
Somebody told me that.
And she was like, because it was a party, and my cousin needed bell bottoms or something, and my grandma was like, go downstairs in the basement. You know, I just never threw that shit away, and I was like. And my sister's like, oh, I ain't got to go buy it. I was like, cool. So I'm not that ingrained in my brain, like everything gonna come back. So I just never threw shit away. My daughters know this, my family knew this. Like I was the dude in the hood where I always had the tapes. I had the newest music. And so I collected it and I never threw it away and I treasured it. Everybody be like, oh, it's shit new. So what's in here is like, you know, I call it Back to the Future. But
what stuff?
I have, you know, R.I.P. Gangsta Boo. This is the lanyard that came in her in-store when she did an in-store when her album came out at X Records, right?
What year was that?
This is, shit, you know, that's why I got tapes right here. This is 98.
98.
This is her debut album, signed, autographed by Gangsta Boo, R.I.P. So, you know, shit like this, right? It's priceless, right? 8 Ball and MJG.
Oh, wow.
They had a solo album. This is the keychain from that album. This is over 2 decades old, right? I got, you know, you got Netflix and chill, right? So
shoot.
I still got my Blockbuster card, yo. What you know about Blockbuster? Make it a Blockbuster night. I still have, this is real. This is Martin Luther King. This is when Blockbuster over there by CAU.
Yeah.
Wow. This is the original card. And then it went from like collecting to like now, Atlanta brought me to Access. I was collecting, but in Detroit, you had to go to a show, and I'm nosebleed. I wasn't, you know, I didn't know. I was like happy to just be in there. But Atlanta was like, oh, I'm gonna run into these niggas. Yeah. I'm gonna run into my heroes. Yeah. Okay, let me see how I can make what I do a little bit better. So like, you know, this is 8 Ball and MJG cassette tape, Space Age Pimpin'. Everybody knows the song.
I'm getting goosebumps, and I don't even like.
Everybody probably knows the song. This is
I'll be obliged if you step outside.
I think the first rapper always said it. No rapper ever said oblige.
That's how I learned that word to bring it to my vocabulary.
Oblige. You know what I'm saying? Goody Mob. And this is the cassette, which is gonna be rare automatically. And there's collectors everywhere, but mine's is signed by T-Mo, Gip, CeeLo, Cujo, the whole gang. And you might open it up, right? Like so. There's a lot of collectors out here, but my shit, I got to be different. Like, if everybody going this way, I got to be something different, like everything. So you might have the purple tape. You go on eBay, a purple tape right now is about 10K in a rapper, right? Cool. You might have that, but is yours signed by Raekwon,
right,
Ghostface, and RZA, and the CEO of Loud Record, Steve Rifkin? You know what I'm saying? Like this
is living in the future.
This is holy grail of hip hop.
Yes.
This is the purple tape. Go on eBay and see how much this is worth, right? Shout out to my Drink Champ affiliate, Nori, right? You know, I know that. This is autographed by Noriega.
Fire.
The cassette tape. And we got, you know,
I
come from this era, bro. I can
do
this. That's the only game we had. And what was 304 in the beeper?
Oh.
What you know about that? See? See? Everybody, they probably like, what are you talking about?
I know 143 mean I love you.
See, you close, but see. So I brought, you know, this was the Skytail pager I had from back in the day. The beeper, Snake. All this shit is still functional too. It ain't like, you know.
Wow, Motorola 2-way.
And like I said, I never threw shit away, right? Etch-a-Sketch, right? You know, this ain't like, you can go in the years. This ain't new retro. None of this is retro. And this, you probably was in Atlanta, right? Yeah. This is a Viewmaster. Right? Are you familiar with Viewmaster?
I remember they had the things in your.
There's a movie inside, but mine's is a bit different, right? Again, mine is Shine by Shaka Zulu.
Oh wow.
Get well, Shaka. But mine's the DTP edition.
Wow.
So if you look in it, this was the invitation to the Red Light District's
no way
album release party.
And that's fire marketing too. Just
look inside there and see what you see inside there, and flip the pages.
Come party with me. Wow.
See that? This was an invitation to a party.
That's amazing. DCP been on it for a while, though. Their street team was crazy.
Sponsored by Jack Daniels. That's
see that?
incredible.
You see that?
Yeah, of course.
That's crazy.
And I grew up on Viewmasters because that was really like first bootleg movies and shit like that. And last but not least, we in Atlanta, you know, King of the South.
The reason why we call music trap music, the reason why they got trap soul, Latino trap, trap digital, trap anything is because of this album right here. Somebody else might have been doing trap music, but Tip and his team was smart enough to name it trap music. Yep. That's the only difference.
And again, and again, I'll play a game with you, right? Again, my shit different. You might have a tape, but is yours gonna be signed by? Maybe can you guess whose autographs those are?
Tip, Toomp.
Oh, shout out to Toomp.
And
David Banner, Rubber Band Man.
Rubber Band Man.
All the producers of the album, right? And then we got R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle. Now, and I've researched this. You might have the cassette.
Maybe.
You might. But you not gonna have it signed by Nipsey Hussle. And then when he saw my collection, it was like, you official? Cameraman, yo, look. Oh, I'm signing the inside of this too. Cuz official. Cuz it's official. You know what I'm saying? So that shit like that is like why I do it. Like when they see what I do and they like, no, I gotta, oh, like Snoop, I like signing stuff like this. Like that's why my brand is nostalgia. Like that feeling that you get with the goosebumps when I pull something out, that's what I do it for. That's like my appeal. Like, because you gotta think music to me was when, if I was having a bad day or something or going through shit in my life, that shit saved me because it was an escape. It took me somewhere else, right?
And it was in a time where that's all you had. It was like now there's like thousands of outlets, mental health issues. You think about you have social media. You literally have access to everything. And I just was telling him, I'm like, bro, Tupac, Me Against the World helped me get through so many times. Because when you young because he has a line in the song where he says, even the genius asks questions, be grateful for blessings. And that was like, that just made me fearless to ask questions. Because it was like, damn, a genius asks questions. Like, don't, because when you come up in the hood, you don't kind of like shut the fuck up. You're supposed to be, you might be seen but never heard. And he kind of gave me like the balls to like talk.
Go out there and do that.
Just talk. Ask questions.
That album, like when you talk about introspective, that one, and I put Scarface to Fix. It's my top two most personal, like the ones that really like literally like saved my life.
Found heaven in the form of a girl.
And he said, love all, and Scarface said, love all and hate not one. That line right there, anybody watching this know I've done a lot of shit I ain't never hated on nobody. And that's on record, bro. Yep. Never. I might not fuck with you. I'm gonna fuck with you. You can stay over there. I even applaud niggas I don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? But I can't, that ain't for me. Whatever was supposed to happen to you, because whatever happened to me gonna happen to me regardless. You know, hating involved or whatever. But my place and my purpose, I'm gonna get that seat at the table regardless. And last but not least,
you know what that is?
Yes.
Christmas Eve, my father walked in with a trash bag and all kind of shit, gifts, right? Not even wrapped or nothing, just on some, I go inside. It was the Nintendo, but it was the year it came out. So this is the controller, and I have the tattoo on my arm, like to just remember, like, and that taught me, like, too, these moments like that, like to be there for my daughters. So I took them to their first show. Like, I remember taking my daughter to, her favorite artist was Gunna. The other one, like Mulatto, I took them to that. Like, just to be able to see that for them means the world to me. And last but not least, I just brought, like, pictures. Like, you know, y'all had to show her that. Look who that is years ago.
Jazzy Faye. Hey, let's get away.
Like,
Slick Rick.
And again,
Slick Rick had one of the best flows in hip hop history.
And best
he got the
storytelling.
FUBU on, I see you.
FUBU Platinum.
Yeah,
That's
platinum.
A little bit, it costs a little bit of money. And Walters,
extra.
David Banner and my daughter, his first album release party.
Wow. I'm showing it.
He's saying show the picture. I'm
showing it.
And the prize moment. So, right, I came to Atlanta because of Different World and Outkast, because the Players Ball album in 94 came out. Look who I met in 96.
Outkast.
And who was signing my elevators. Big Boy and Dre right there.
Bruh, that's crazy.
That's Big Boy shaking my, and Andre ready to sign my shit back then.
The best rap group of all time. I don't think we should even ask. Outkast is the best rap group ever.
Young Scrappy.
Young Scrappy. That jacket cold. See, this is the shit. When you look at these pictures, like, this jacket.
Yeah. And this is before pre-camera phone. This is no camera phone. This is me with just a disposable camera, just like, I might meet somebody. I just might.
Fire him with the
And
braids.
you didn't know how the picture was gonna come out.
Nah.
You didn't get to do a little. You gotta take what you
Troy.
could get.
Pastor Troy, one of the most important artists in Southern rap history.
And we just
In
did
Atlanta
ATL
history.
Legends concert. Shout out to
should've
Troy,
went to that.
Raheem, Kilo Ali, Ghetto Mop. I met the Hard Boys, Baby D, my Camp family, man. That shit was live. And I used to do clothing. So I used to make clothing because I was like, and I made that for Ross.
Lil Bankhead probably didn't even know that picture exists.
Yeah. So that's my proof of New Face was there. Like I got Kanye West's first show in Atlanta ever.
Wow.
He did Earthlink Live. That's how I remember Earthlink,
wow.
which
Yes.
is center stage now.
Yes.
But I have a picture because nobody had. It's one dude with doing this, and then there's one flip phone in the air. Like and now you go to a show, everybody has a camera, but I was like the only one at this show, and it just shows the evolution of this shit. Mm-hmm. And I've been here doing the evolution since I got here. You know, it was like Camp. You know, we had the trap, the snap. Like I seen the birth of all that shit, and I'm honored to like still be here to celebrate. You know, my heroes. You know what I'm saying?
How does being from Detroit kind of affect your love for music and hip hop, and what did they instill in you?
I was raised as that nerd nigga around like hustlers that had access to everything, and if it was like what you want, I had my answer ready. Starter coat, pop. Let's go to the record store. Filas, Sergio Tacchini shoot. Like I had so. Oh, you want to go to the tape store? We was going every Tuesday, and they would do that. So and they had cars. Cars is the shit, and so music to drive by, and I would make mixtapes for the hustlers in the hood because they would buy the tapes for me, but I wanted to make something. I always needed a way to say thank you because money is not me. Money is not like money is not motivation for me. I want to take care of my family, take care of my bills, but I never did it for the money. But I needed a way to tell people thank you for what they did for me. So giving them something was like my way. So I would make mixtapes for, D-boys in the neighborhood and the project. Shout out to Herman Garden Projects. And I would make them tapes. And that was my way. It's like they would buy me 10 albums, but, these albums back in the day, like say a No Limit album, like maybe the first and the last song might be the hottest shit on that album. And I would make the mixtapes, literally tapes, like record, stop, and I would get them to them. So if I'm riding in there and they riding by and I'm like, I made that for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't shouting out like a DJ, but I knew I made that. And so that's what instilled with me because in Detroit, we got music from every genre. It wasn't like we wasn't East Coast, West Coast. We was everything. I was getting Spice One, Sibo, MCA, RBL Posse, but I was also getting Player Fly, 3-6 Mafia, Project Pat. I was still getting Outkast. I was still getting, Crucial Conflict, Bone Thugs. I was still getting, but in Detroit, we had Eshawn, who was an independent artist, Real Life Productions, had created a genre of rap. So I was seeing independent people all day. So they instilled with me love of music because that's really all we had. Like we went to the club to floss, buffs, and gators and all that, but it was the music was the soundtrack for that shit. We wanted to be like Belly when you walked in. What song gonna be on when you walk in? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was prepared for that moment. So like when I go anywhere, and shout out to every DJ that do that. Like that's the first thing I do when I go to the club is, what's up to the DJ? But when I hear them shout me out, like that's like that paid in full type shit. Like money making Mitch in the building, baby.
She know that.
You see?
She know that. Look,
See, so that
all of them come alive. What you know.
so that's what I kind of like. That's my ode to like hip hop, and this is what this is. And I never sold nothing in my collection. My stuff can be viewed in Trap Music Museum. Rock the Bells is used it. I use it in music videos. You've seen my stuff in TV shows and may not have known it. Rap City in the Basement came back in 2 years ago, and they back to back. If you look in the basement, you'll see records. That's my collection. On the table with Big Tigger, those are my magazines. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to be ingrained in the culture like 5-5 Freddy. But it wasn't about me and it's me and this is my collection. No, I do this for y'all.
It's very honorable.
Like, Nip's not here no more, and I'm always say that because he didn't have to do that. I waited in line with my daughters for the shoes. I bought the shoes and he ain't had to sign this. But once he seen that and he saw my daughters, like, oh, that's love. I got you. And then maybe a week later, we at Opera. He was part of a competition with Big Boy and Rick Ross, Tip, and them was all there, Killer Mike. And I was taking a selfie with my guy Kerosene, and then Nipsey is in the back like this. Oh, wow. in the selfie, and I didn't realize it till later. But when I walked over, he was like, "You don't remember me?" And I met you with your daughters at the mall. Like, and
He remembers you.
You remember me?
Crazy.
So when I seen that, I'm like, okay, I'm making an impression on these. How can I leave? So that's really what nostalgia is about. Like, how can I got to be different. Once I meet you, how can I add value to what you're doing? That's all I got in this world is value and social currency. So how can I help you be an assistance? Or I just want to be in the room, bro. Even being in the room, I take care of the rest. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Tip. Like, he's helped me a lot with that. Like, all I needed was access. And he shouted me out time and time again. New faces here when you don't have, you know how, like, to me, that's valuable.
Yeah, it is.
And I know it's solid because I got nothing to I'm not trying to get rich. Yeah. Money is not my motivation. Yeah.
It's the culture. You care.
And I want a platform so I can help people. I tell a lot of people, like, if you see me, you see us. And us is like niggas like, you know, Cali or Mac or Jerry, people that help me out, Killer Mike that put me on and did something for me, clothing brands that I wear. You know what I'm saying? I do this for us, you know, because what they say, you go faster alone, but we'll go further together. So that's my whole mentality.
Now you see why I wanted him to be again.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, who is New Face? Like, I was like, bruh, you just wait till you meet him. Word. He's just like the purest hip-hop guy I've met. Like, you know, hip-hop has turned into a capitalist business, you know, obviously. But you always just seem and were genuine. Yeah. I got to ask a question to you. When you think about Detroit, give me the first song pop in your head.
The only thing I think of is Eminem and 8 Mile. Well, when he was on stage and he was Rabbit, that's the first thing, because that's the only thing I know about.
Can I piss you off?
Why?
Can I piss you off? So one of my best friends is from Detroit. Anytime I meet somebody from Detroit, I say one thing. It's so cold in the D. Yeah. How the fuck we supposed to get peace? You don't know that?
No.
Oh my God.
That's a fucking cultural icon.
Every time I talk to my people from Detroit, I'm like, you from Detroit?
That's first viral,
it's
right?
It's so cold. Don't sing that shit.
And she had the people in the background dancing too.
You never heard that song?
I have no.
Oh no, if you ever,
but I never do.
Listen, it
Please
was a cultural phenomenon.
Put it in the clip.
It's probably one of the worst rap songs ever made, but you could just tell they was trying to get the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm trying to say? You could just tell.
Like, this is gonna be the one.
Right.
And like, they filming it in a cemetery. Yeah. She's rapping about people dead, and she's by the grave. Her and like 2 kids. Like, it's almost like it's almost like her and her 2 kids. And it's like, it's so cold.
And it flipped on it, like, cause like you said, it wasn't a great song, but it
turned up.
It turned up.
It's
like everybody
you can never
knew
forget
that
it.
shit.
You can never forget it.
That's amazing. I don't know. I guess Detroit got a way of making
I'm
things
just
happen.
saying, but I like to tell that to the people from Detroit because
I thought she was gonna be like this, the goddamn Blade Ice.
Nah, they know it, but it's like, Eminem, you know, Royce the Five. No. It's so cold in the D.
That's the original.
That's the one.
That's the one that made me say, when I went to Detroit, that's the first song I played.
Wait, so how'd you get to Atlanta?
So it was a college tour. So I graduated from high school. And I was an artist in Detroit. I used to make clothes for students. I would draw. I was a great drawer, creative design, commercial art, and I would draw. And they had iron-on crayons. So I would color, and then you would flip it, and you iron it on the T-shirt. And so I sold those shirts to school. So I came to college, and they said there was an alumni here in Detroit. It was like Clark, Atlanta, Detroit alumni. So it was people from Detroit that went to Clark already, and their job was to recruit people from Detroit and bring them there. So I met a good friend of mine, Damon Thomas. You may know him. He directed Laffy Taffy. He directed 24s and Dope Boys for T.I. He shot Trans Lee's album, like, integral part of the culture. So, like, he was like, I see you love hip-hop. When you get here, I direct videos. I'm your ex. You know, he was my go-to guy. So when I got here, like, Shorty Low was the first video I was, like, just in the wall. So when I got here, it was a college tour. And they gave us tours of all the colleges, CAU, Clark, Atlanta, Spelman, Moore, that whole HBCU, that little area, AUC. So then there was a break. You got 2 hours. Do what you want, then meet back here. You know, I like to explore. Like, I in Detroit, I rode the bus, and I like to explore. So I go. This is in the heart of Freaknik. This is on Freaknik, and the bus is stopped on Peachtree, and I get out and walk. Like, fuck it, I'm going to walk. And I'm seeing cars drive by like LL with the booming system, women hanging out, and I'm seeing artists. I'm seeing Jermaine Dupri on a 4-wheeler. I'm seeing Keith Murray. I'm seeing fucking Redman. I'm seeing everybody that I'm in my head like, but I was just like enamored, like, fuck, this is fucking dope. Black excellence. Like, how, oh, they got rims, they ride rims too in the line. Like, oh, they got, and then I seen gold teeth and I seen perms. I like, so they got their style too. And I'm like, oh, I fuck with this. I need to come back. So I went back, told my parents, like, okay, we gonna do this shit. But I had to find a good reason. I ain't want to be like, yo, it's bitches down there. Yo, it's hoes galore. I'm about to go down there and turn the fuck up in Atlanta, yo. Right. I was like, you saw a different world. You saw it. You do the right thing. It's a black college down there. It's black. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to be the first one to graduate. It's another, Outkast had to say, another black experience. I want to be part of that shit. So I came here and was here. And I brought my whole life. Like, I rode the Greyhound here, packed my whole room up. Everything. And then when I got here, the dorm here, and I'm like, looking at the flyer, I'm like, the flyer say this is trees and a forest. This is the fucking projects. I'm like, this shit was not on the brochure. What the? I done moved, and I'm leaving Detroit from the project. And so I'm like, different world. And I'm getting out the cab, and I got my life, and I got to go register, and I can't carry, so I'm like, God, I got to go in here and register. Pick out my room. I'm gonna leave. I left the shit on the curb.
Like Coming to America.
Left my shit. But when I got back, my shit was still there. It was still there.
I was nervous.
I was too. And so, and then I put it up and got it in my room, and my room instantly became the fucking spot because I put shit on the wall like a kid's bedroom. I had a store because my first job was the Kroger's. They opened that first Kroger on Cascade. The first black owned. I was the register. But I was buying stuff when I got off, and I owned a store. So when I was the first Uber and DoorDash because people came to my store. The waters, big case, pops, fucking chips. I had ramen noodles. I had blunts. I had Black and Miles. My store was a trap. And I was the only person with a gaming system. PlayStation had came out. I had the first PlayStation, NBA Live 95. So imagine my room was always off the chain. So I was like, I'm about to hustle. I'm selling, nigga. That Detroit mentality, like, I don't want to work, but I got to find a way because I got to stay here. So that's what really led me, Freaknik and hip hop.
Where you went to Freaknik?
Yeah, but
I can only imagine.
But you know,
I want to ask y'all something else because I can only imagine where the Freaknik convo is gonna go. I want both of you guys to answer this. If you could relive any historical moment during hip hop's lifespan, what moment would you want to be there for? Any time in hip hop, like what time would you want to have been there for?
Man, personally, it'd be when DMX did Woodstock.
Right.
If you just
wow. That clip even is like
just think of that picture. You remember?
So imagine being there. Yeah.
And I mean, like, my transition from like the nosebleeds to like being able to be on the stages is fucking like that's really mind blowing. But Woodstock, I would have paid to just be there. So that would be my moment. That would be mine, just to be like DMX with the overalls. Like, I watched that religiously, like, oh, shit. And then when Outkast did Centennial Park at last, that's one of my top 5.
I was in there.
Yeah, that moment right there, Centennial Park, when they did the reunion show, 3 days. I went Saturday and Sunday. Sunday was the best show, but
I went with L.A. Reid. So we had a police escort. And we walked in through the back door, went right to the section where Usher, JD, Dallas was. But they was like being cool. I was a motherfucking fan. Outkast is my favorite group of all time. I'm like, y'all knew these niggas before they won shit. Like, I remember when they was at my high school in 9th grade, nigga, like, you can't, bro, I love Outkast. Love them. Like, bro, it's like, I bow down to them, like, no doubt. But I would say my answer is, I can't think of one. Because you got to remember, I was in the Bronx. So I kind of grew up around hip-hop. Mm-hmm. So, like, I grew up, like, when Rob Bass was shooting the video around the corner and all the other shit. But I'll probably say, I wish I was in the Public Enemy Fight the Power video. Just because Public Enemy was, like, the first intellectual, like, we ain't standing for shit, rebellious movement. Yeah. And for me, just, it takes balls to speak up. And just knowing that these guys was out there, like, fight the power, like, nigga, nothing is more powerful than that, like, line. Fight the power.
And I give that to, like, X-Clan and KRS-One, Poor Righteous Teachers. Like, I would literally learn, like, music was my teacher. Like, it wasn't just, like, like I love this shit. Like that was like KRS-One was saying names like Marcus Garvey and you know like Master Musa. Like I was hearing names like all right, like I was that person. Like it wasn't Google Encyclopedia, Compton's Encyclopedia. My last name is Compton, so I own a rack of encyclopedia. So when I hear these names, I'm like, oh, who is Marcus? Like so, that was my education. Like rap, I call rap. Rap really raised me.
I'll tell you something funny. You know the movie Juice. So you know the movie where they was at the restaurant and he was like, I'm about to go in here and rob this motherfucker. And remember EPMD was in the movie. They shot that right next to my middle school. Oh, shit. And I was in 6th grade. And the entire school ran about 4 blocks to the Blue Flame Lounge. The entire school ran like literally to get EPMD and Tupac's signature. And I remember just watching EPMD be out there signing autographs. I was there. So you know, like you grew up in the Bronx, like Tim Dog lived in the building around, you know who Tim Dog is. Tim Dog lived in the building across from us. So Tim Dog had a record called Fuck Compton. Like,
and that's what, when I hear his name, the first thing I hear is fuck Tim Dog in the biker shorts. Like MC8.
So the nicest move that lived around the corner. So it was just like, I grew up. That was the one thing. So that's why I love Atlanta so much though. Because when I came here, you know, Atlanta was like, New York was like street, and I came to Atlanta, and I don't want to say it was soft, but it wasn't.
I call it player.
Because it was like Kilo or Hating Dream. It was super like, you know, you go from listening to like street shit to like, I want to show you, you buster, you gonna love me. It was like, and Atlanta just was Atlanta. It was like they didn't care that New York didn't acknowledge them. It was like, if New Yorkers want to come. If whoever want to come. And then Atlanta got hot. Doing Atlanta though. That's what I love.
I heard
about
an analogy that I love. Rico Wade said it from Dungeon Family. He was like, L.A. was like our mother, or New York was like our mother. The West Coast was our father, and Atlanta was the child. But we was the child built off of neglect because those people our mother and father didn't pay attention to us.
So when Atlanta started winning, they wasn't doing it their way. That's why it meant so much, because it was like, now we the shit, but we wasn't trying to be. When Kilo was around, Atlanta was just doing Atlanta. And it's still just doing Atlanta. That's why that's what I loved about it. It was never trying. Like New York, y'all will crown a motherfucking king in a heartbeat. Y'all will crown, and it's like, he's the new king. He's the new king. In Atlanta, it was like, we didn't have no kings. It was just like, we loved everybody. We loved everybody. So that's what I love.
Until
that was
Tip
one of my
said,
favorite
I'm the
things
king of the South.
And then it was like,
you gotta let him have it.
That's what I talked about on Toomp episode. I was like, bro, Tip was the first Atlanta nigga to play Atlanta rules. He did it his way, Atlanta way. He wasn't thinking about his first album. You could tell he was thinking about New York when he did the record with Beanie Man. He was trying to appease the New York, but when he realized that shit didn't work, he came for who he was. And then ever since then, nigga, we've been having street trap music.
Because even Too Short said it. He was like, I did a song with him, and I heard this nigga say he the king of the South. I'm like, does this nigga say the king of the South? Then a couple years later, he was like, damn, this nigga really is.
And he stood on it, and anybody that had a problem with it, he ran up on it. It wasn't like he stood up on it.
And he asked people. He said he asked Scarface.
And Scarface was like, yo, you should the first one that said it. Yeah,
and Andre 3000 said, what is really king? Like,
He would.
And Big Boy was like, well, you gonna have to stand on it. Like, some people gonna come at your head, and that's really what happened.
Every time he did, he was there.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about Atlanta. One, they're welcoming. They if you want to do something, they want to know how we can all do it together. How can we get to the goal? How can we all feed off each other? And then, you guys, I think that's one of the problems with New York music right now. They kind of lost themselves in trying to keep up with the South. Now we are like wearing dreads and saying like no cap and just using other people's lingo, and I hate that for us. But I want to ask you, can you give us some random hip hop facts? I know you got some stuff that people probably out there don't know that you could probably share with our guests that they won't know. So give me some 5 random hip hop facts. I'm
good with anniversaries, and today is the anniversary. In 2005 today, DJ Drama and Young Jeezy dropped one of the most classic mixtapes ever, Trap or Die.
We were just talking about this because we were talking about how we got suspended from school when we were wearing like the snowman T-shirts and things like that back in the day.
That movement, when I got just to be a part of that movement, like I still have all the flyers. Like you got to understand, when they had the album release parties at Visions and Compound,
I was passing out flyers.
I would go, and they would have these email lists. Alex would do this, but you got 11. You get in free before 11. But you had to print them out. It was this whole thing. And then you couldn't wear a hat or you couldn't gym shoes, like creative recreation. Remember you had to wear those shoes or boots. So So I would go to these things, so a Jeezy album release party, a Young Dro's album release party, and I would go, and I would have a shirt for these people. Like I said, I made the shirts, but I knew Alex or whoever at the door wouldn't let me go. So I would, every time I would go to these album release parties, I would have T-shirts under me, and I would meet them in the bathroom, like Bishop or Crunk or Lil Jon or Drama. I had these shirts, and I would take it off in the bathroom and then present it to them. But I had to find a way to like damn. So I remember that time. But when I would leave the club, is what I was saying. I would take those billboards down and take them home. The ones that was on the thing. So I still have those. If you go in the Trap Music Museum, like yesterday, I had Young Dro sign it. It's from 06, the one with the logo with the gold teeth. And I still have those Jeezy's Trap or Die. I have all those billboards that the street teams would put, but not small. These was back then. You know,
they big as a motherfucker.
And the snowman.
And they would push it up the pole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would take I would use them because I was making shirts during the tall T phase, right? So I needed something to put under the so it wouldn't bleed through. So some of my posters you would see paint because I would use what I get to get what I want. You know what I'm saying? So but I kept them. I never threw them away. So to see them in the Trap Music Museum now, it's like, okay, now they valuable.
So we don't have like tangible things as much anymore. Like they don't necessarily have tapes and stuff. So what are you collecting nowadays? What's considered memorabilia besides just, of course, tour merch? But what else are you using? Well,
you're absolutely right. And like that's the one thing. Like so, like Little Baby, like he was on a couple covers, like Double XL's in the Source. Mulatto was a freshman cover. So there are some things, but you're right. And that's why I'm good friends with Tobago at DBS Sounds, and we've been pushing to younger artists to do physical copies. So we set up, we had Yo Gotti, we had Gunna, and just for Gunna's example, when he dropped, he came out the same week as the Weeknd. No,
this is the second album. Okay, yeah.
So he came out the same, and he did physical copies, and he go to the store and sign them. But he was number one because he outsold them by 1,500 copies. So I'm like, it makes it different. I ain't saying that's the reason, but physical copies still matter because you're right. There were kids in the line. I was there. It was kids in the line. They didn't even know what to see. Like, where do I even play this? But they know if I buy it, I get a picture with Gunna or I get a picture with these people. So I am a part of this coalition. Like, let's do something physical. So any artist I do, let's do a vinyl, limited release vinyl. You know what I'm saying? But what I do is have something new that I have of my collection, and I have them sign it. So I have blank cassettes that I spray paint gold. Some new artists, I have them sign that. So they have something new that's physical. So that's what I've been doing, just to have a piece of them. You know what I'm saying? Like Nipsey, like this is not like these are new cassettes. Like Pusha T has a purple tape, you know, and that came out last year. Like so, some artists still get it, but my goal is like if the Big Brother shuts our phone down, we can't sign my title phone. Like it's no, you know. So I'm a part of that person like that. I'm always push like something physical. You know what I'm saying? Because once they shut any of this digital shit down, I can go put my headphones on and I got all my tapes and I'm good. I got my Blockbuster card and my VHS tape. I'm good. I still got VCRs at the house. Like my kids be like, I got the Disney movies for them. I got the scary movies here. I got the black exploitation. I got Blockbuster at my house. And New Faces there is a brand, but you got to think I was really like an introvert. But like I know Kenny Burns said something that stuck out to me. It's like if you're going to become something, you got to become the brand. Like if you're going to start a brand, you got to become the brand. So if I say New Face was there and I'm going to stand on that, I got to show them what that look like. And then if I show them what that look like, what's my intention? I always walk with purpose. So it's like, all right, I want to show them value and what support looks like. You know what I'm saying? So I want to show people what support looks like, right? So like if I post something and somebody retweets it and they say, oh, hashtag New Face was there, that was absolutely free, right? But it helps my brand. It's priceless to me. So when I pitched to Rock the Bells when they had the cruise boat, I did like, hashtag and contact at LL at Rock the Bells. It was people like Gangsta Boo. He got to be there. T.I., oh, it only makes sense. Bun B, yo, what's your math? DM me. I'm going to put you in contact with him. And then they contact me and they was like, LL was like, yo, what we doing with New Face, man? They blowing up my page. What those people did for my supporters did for me, it's priceless, right? And it cost them nothing. And anybody can do a quick repost to shout out somebody, you know what I'm saying? I work with artists all the time, bro, and all I do is repost, and they be like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, your team ain't doing it? Like, I'm the only one. Like, I feel like I'm rare, but I'm like, I'm trying to show them it shouldn't be rare. Like, this is what family. This is what we should be doing naturally. I want to see y'all win. So before knowing people, that's how I got starter coats. Ty Hopkins made them, but I would buy them because I grew up on starter coats. I seen people get through off the Bobolo boat. I had to hustle for them, and I was buying them $150, $200 a coat, but I was earning the money legally to get them. And when I finally met him, he saw that, and he was like, you know what I'm saying? You solid. And I've seen it, and so many people brought your name up, you won't have to pay for starter coats no more. You know, and my guy Junior Mack could tell you, I got a room full of, coats. Like, I got a room full of merchandise from black-owned brands. Like, this is black-owned. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't had to buy clothes in years, maybe 5 years.
Damn. Okay, so you kind of touched on it, but I want you to build on it a little bit more. So tell everybody out there that's coming up that loves hip-hop the importance of relationships and branding. Well,
again, I read a lot, and then another thing that stood out is your net worth is your network is your net worth. It's who you know. Like you said, you knew L.A. Reid. If it's a show, like how I got in Versus, I saw somebody that knew me. You
just showed up.
I just showed up. I used to buy tickets. Like, I collect ticket stubs because I used to buy ticket stubs. So I have over 5,000 ticket stubs of shows that I've been to. So I have the ticket stubs and proof that I've been to shows, like 5, and I got to put the new one for the last maybe 5 years together, and I probably have more ticket stubs. But now what happens is these relationships with artists is like, why is you buying the ticket? Why you didn't call me? So now I'm like testing my face card. So now if it's a show at State Farm, I'm at the back, like, all right, who knows me? How I'm going to get in? And I never know how. Mike get, oh shit, new face. He with us. And it may not be the star. You know what I'm saying? So in relationships again, like my method of networking too, it started out because I seen everybody, if a rapper came in, everybody flocks to the artist. I rap, I do this. Again, I gotta be different. Let me see who the security is, the bouncer, the manager, who the one with the clipboard, who the one taking notes, who the one with the glasses, who the one doing everything else. How you doing? How you doing? So when they do a show and I go in the back room, everybody know me but the artist. Now they like, damn.
Exactly.
Who is, okay, then we meet. Then they do the research and then they're like, okay. Boom.
Exactly.
Like when, I always go to these in-stores and I would just get the shit signed and leave.
Yeah.
But after certain artists, like I don't force relationships. That's what I'm saying. These artists that I fuck with, like they genuinely, and that's why I rock with who I rock with. They remember. You know what I'm saying? They remember, and I got the proof. Like that's another thing. I can certificate the authenticity. When you buy an autograph, something, you have to have proof of it. I have a picture of every autograph that I got, every video. Maybe when I met this person, I have it chronicled. Like you might be a collector, but no, you're not gonna get nobody like this. Like I'm like a new Fab Five Freddy.
No, that's right. I want to ask both you guys this. What song made you fall in love with hip hop?
The Message. And LL Cool J, I'm Bad.
What? That for me. So like I said, I grew up in it. So I grew up living. I'm gonna tell you the first hip hop song that I heard that I was like, this for me. Eric B and Rakim, Eric B for President. That was the first. It was like the effect on his voice. I came in the door. I said it before. It was like that was the first time I heard a hip hop song that I'm like, my mom ain't gonna get this. This for me. I remember being at a block party, like everybody was doing the WAP and the Running Man. It was like, bro, like that was the first hip hop song. I was like, God damn, that's for us. I still think that's top 5 hip hop beats of all time.
Yeah, those were mine. And shout out to like my mom. Like she was very open to, because I was bringing in tapes. Like I'm a visual person, so if I seen the like Bust Down had his cartoon cover and he's standing on a bitch neck with some phone, or Doggy Style, or Me So Horny covers, or Ice-T's Power. Like I didn't have to hide those covers. I thought I did, but she knew I love this shit. So I brought Too Short in. I brought, Too Loud. But I was still listening to Poor Righteous Teachers, Tribe Called Quest. She knew there was balance in there. And like, so I was just like kind of raised different. Like my mother I love school and showing off my stuff so much that if she wanted to punish me, she would say she wouldn't let me go to school.
Oh, wow.
Because I was that dude, like when the Dr. Dre, The Chronic came out, I was the first person to go to the school, and I had the tape. So imagine me showing these kids the tape and rumbling and teaching, what is that? And like, but I was that nigga, and you get to read the credits. I was that nigga with the first thing. And like even the purple tape, this literally, you talk about like what music means to you. Like this literally saved my life. So like quick story is the release date. And sometimes music came out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But in Detroit, if you knew the right person, you can get it on Monday.
Yeah.
So I knew this, and I needed a ride there. Again, I caught the bus, but I needed a ride there, and I had a ride. But they said we were going to have to go to the east side first and then go to the tape store. And me in Detroit, I just know niggas. I know east side is going to be a while or something. I need this tape now. So I get on the bus, I get the tape, take it to school, and everybody, oh, shit, everybody reading the credits, and I'm just on the bus listening to it. Get home, like everybody, make sure everybody good. I found out this car was involved in a drive-by.
Oh, wow.
Like shot up, and now the person was paralyzed. Like I could have been in that car. Like
that's
when
crazy.
I talk about like hip hop, like I could have been in that car. But like, so when I tell it, and then when I tell that story to Raekwon, when I see him, and I never be like, do you remember? They get that when they remember, like Nipsey remember. I know I impacted them somehow. So,
this is a crazy thing. You just took me somewhere. Hip hop literally saved me. Like, I wasn't told I could be shit. Like, hip hop was the first thing I was ever touching. I was like, I could do this. But I think hip hop is killing more people now than it's saving.
That's a fact.
That's the crazy part about now. Like, it's like hip hop say like that. When you say that, it's like that's crazy. Like, because you had to separate yourself, but now it feel like it's hurting more people than it's helping. That's crazy how
selling drugs to now
yeah,
drug
yeah.
users.
And it was like I grew up in hip hop when people don't even remember what Dre said, and I don't smoke weed or cess, cause it's known to give the brother
brain damage and brain damage on the mic don't manage.
Even if like he was like, bro, like hip hop was like superheroes, but now I just feel like, we're in a dark time where everybody would rather be a supervillain than a superhero, rather paint the picture of evil rather than like be more vulnerable and because I don't give a fuck who you are. Nobody woke up with all the sauce. No. Everybody got rejected. I don't give a fuck who you are. Everybody got rejected. And I think that now we're taking that rejection and using it. It's almost there's a thin line between love and hate, right? So it's almost like if you pay attention to superhero movies, the villain was always a good person that just got rejected. And, the bad guy, the good guy was a good guy that got rejected, but he chose love. And the villain just chose violence. It's all perspective, but it just feel like I'm literally thinking to myself, like, what hip-hop song could I let my kids listen to that I'm thinking my son is going to be like, I'm going to go make the right decision now. Like, I'm telling you, I'm not being funny when I say Tupac, me against the world. Like, dog, I love women, but my approach to women was based on Too Short.
See?
When Too Short was like,
find that balance too.
That's what I'm saying. So it was like Outkast was teaching us other shit. Too Short was teaching us how to talk to chicks. Like Too Short getting it. You should be getting it. Getting while the getting is good. Like that shit.
That's a fact.
Nigga, that shit made you wake up and like make me wake up and walk from Hidden Woods to Discount Mall or Old National passing out flyers, nigga, because you should be getting it. Like, go get this money, bro. It's money out there. You know what I'm saying?
And then that brought me back again to songs again. So I remember it was a song with Jay-Z and Beanie Siegel, Daddy, Where Have You Been?
Yes.
And I heard this song, and this helped me with fatherhood, because it's like, whatever I do with my daughters, shout out to Maya, Liara, Lyric, Karma, whatever I do, I got to do whatever and be in their life to where they never make a song about me like that in their life. I don't give a fuck what I got to do.
Bruh, I got to say something. I'm not going to even act like I'm cool. I was in the gym working out. That's why I don't like when people, that's why I always stand with Kanye. Kanye has a song on his album called No More Parties with Dre 3000?
Oh, yeah.
And then at the end, they have DMX.
Oh, hold on, baby.
Hold on, baby.
Nigga, I get a tear.
That shit made me cry in the gym because it was like,
you got it, baby girl.
Yes.
You got it. And that
we don't, that's why it's like, I feel like some people say the right thing, some people do the right thing, right? Like, I think Ye is the type of person that might say the wrong thing, but he gonna always do the right thing, right? And for me, that's why I gotta give him a pass, because what song makes you wanna play it for your kids. Like the Donda album literally is the album that he made street niggas get on and not curse. When on Keep My Spirit Alive, where he was like, he flushed the work down the toilet, thank God. Like he brought realness to what we do. And we don't have enough of that. We don't have enough niggas that's saying, flush the work before the police came, thank God. Everybody's like, everybody want to be super hard, super tough. But he had niggas telling stories about real shit. Because I think if we gave more real shit, kids will have less mental health, will have less violence. Because sometimes you just want to feel like somebody going through what you're going through. And when you feel, and if everybody's rich, and everybody doing good and everybody got jewelry and cars and everybody's wearing drip, and you the only one not, you start being like, man, fuck that. I'm gonna rob me a nigga. I'm gonna kill me a nigga because I want that. But sometimes nigga tell the truth, I ain't have it. I ain't got it. And it's okay to not have it. It's okay. I just feel like hip hop.
And then you had that song, another one that told me that jail life was not the one for me. Beanie Siegel, What's Your Life Like? And that nigga said you gotta sleep with a nigga making love to his hand next to your bed. Oh my God. Like, jail not for me.
That was the cold red for you.
Yeah, and some I'm saying music
that did it.
guided me.
Nigga.
Eminem. I'm sorry, my relationship with my mother is like top notch because of shit like this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like music guided me, but again, Too Short was instilled in me.
That's what I'm saying. It's all there. Dog, Jay-Z, Freeway, Beans, what we do
is wrong.
Nigga, I pulled that song, I played it for my kids, and I'm like, this why your daddy a millionaire. Wow. That's why your daddy a millionaire. Because he was like, we hustled to the sun. Like, it was like real nigga. Like, it made men want to be men, not want to kill your people, kill your community. So when I think about what hip hop is, I'm just like, fuck, how we lose our way?
That's what I was gonna ask. When did this shift happen? So you said it went from rapping about selling drugs to doing drugs. When did this shift and this cultural kind of reset happen?
I can tell you, for me, when money became more important than everything else. Nigga, when money became more important than everything else, it was over. Like, I'm like, dog, growing up, real talk, you grew up living in hip hop. Who the fuck knew who had more money? Biggie, Pac? Who knew? Like, we didn't know who had more money between Biggie and Pac. We didn't know who had more money between two. All them niggas look lit to us.
Forbes list. Was we worried about?
We weren't worried about who had more money, but now it's like the nigga that got more money is the boss. That don't mean he the best leader, though. That don't mean he the best person for the people. That just mean he the nigga that got the most money. He might be a fuck nigga. And I feel, and for me, it was like, we didn't know who had more. We didn't care who had more. We cared who meant more. And now niggas only care about who have more. So now now capitalists are involved in music. Where now, this is how crazy the music, you want how stupid the music business is, how stupid we are. I could sign as an executive at a label, a major label, one of the big three. I could sign a nigga that got a song saying, kill my brother, kill my mother. But I can't go on there and say, as a black man, I feel like this. Nigga, you be quiet. So as a publicly traded company, you're not okay with the smart, intelligent black leaders talking to their people. Dog, when I worked at a major label, when I went to do a TED Talks, I had to ask for permission. I got to ask for permission to do it. When I want to do in the apartments for Parlay, I got to ask for permission. What y'all going to be talking about? Why the fuck? You don't ask what the rapper talking about that we just signed? It's no responsibility, just checks and balances. And at some point, at some point in time, I got to this place where I was like, nigga, I'm a motherfucking sellout. I'm a sign a nigga that's going to say, I'm a kill a nigga, kill his bitch, kill everybody. But I can't speak out against that without asking you for permission. But he can say whatever he wants. And it was like, it's just, we going backwards. And I don't know, like, it's like you inspire me because it's like, maybe this shit gonna get old and it's gonna come back a different way. I hope so. I pray it does. But dog, as long as people care about money over people, we fucked in hip hop. Because hip hop's the only genre that talks about violence, and it inspires people to want to do dumb shit. Like, nigga, I tell people, I grew up on 3 6 Mafia. Nigga, Tear the Club Up Thugs, nigga, that album, nigga, incredible. I might get crunk in the car. But then I also had Jay-Z and fucking Freeway, and I'm talking about What We Do Is Wrong. And then I also had Too Short talking about I was only 14 when I first got my dick sucked. Now, like it was like
freaky tales.
We had all of these things happening around us, so you could tap you, but you knew there was levels to it.
It was balance.
It's no levels, and the reason why was because somebody at the top was like, "I want to make shit that matters," and now the people at the top are saying, "What are the numbers doing?" And as long as that's happening, niggas gonna keep killing niggas. And I hate to say it, but ain't no helping us unless black people lead. Like I remember I went to go sign this artist, and I came into the studio, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was protecting myself. I'm in Baltimore. Shout out to Spitty. Spitty know this story. Spitty from Dirty Glove Bastards. Flew to Baltimore to see this kid. Nigga, you see all this right here? It was guns. Everybody got guns. I'm in the basement. Everybody got guns. I'm a black man. So, I understand what's going on. So, first thing I asked the manager, hey, look, now I'm going home to my kids. Good for nobody say. First thing I asked the manager was like, yo, we good? He's like, yeah, we good. Hell yeah. I was like, no, why everybody need guns? Like, nigga, is this a place somebody run up in? He's like, ain't nobody gonna run up in here. That's why we got the guns. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So then I said to the artist, no white executive can do this. I said to the artist, I said, yo, his name was Tay. I was like, yo, what's your plan? Like, I know we're here, but what's the plan? Like, what you want to do? He said, what you mean? I said, like, are we trying to get Jay-Z money? Or we just trying to, like, get a couple dollars? And he was like, nigga, I want Hove money. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me tell you something. Guns scare the money away. So, and nigga, as soon as I said that, he was like, hey, everybody put their guns away. Cause you understand, sometimes you just need a nigga in the room that's like, hey, yo, look, let me tell you how, like Hov said, let me take you to the White House. Let me show you how to get here. Put your suit on.
Show you how to move in a room full of vultures.
Yeah, like, so that's what I mean. We just don't have balance because we don't have niggas in the buildings that have a voice that can care or can say anything.
Yeah, because the ones that do, I'll give you an example. I won't say the label, but Plies had an album, and on this album, he said, nigga, 43 times, right? 43 times. He said cracker on one of the songs. The label said, hold on, nigga.
Oh, that's where you draw the line.
That's where we draw the line. Take that one out and that album come out.
That's what I'm saying. But they understand, dog, listen, if you listen, you know this. Oh, I can tell you a story. See, that's why I'm glad you're here. No, this is real talk. One of my childhood friends. So it's this song on Kingpin Skinny Pimp album called Nobody Crosses Me. And he says a line in the song, when the doors get kicked in, nobody can duck. What about his mother and kids? Nigga, I don't give a fuck. I never forget that because I was 17. You got your best friends. Sometimes, like, it's like juice. Like, it's like, okay, nigga, you Bishop. So nigga was like, so we was hanging out. We was beefing with some niggas. And he was like, I'm telling you, nigga, when I see these niggas, I'm killing them all back. And we 17. so I'm like, hey, hey, nigga, I feel you, but hey, yo, nigga, might be with his mother and kid. He said, nigga, I don't give a fuck. I was like, I can't hang with you no motherfucking more, nigga. And guess what? They shot them dudes up at the Waffle House. Anybody know from College Park know this is a true story. Shot him up at the Waffle House. I ain't been friends with that dude since that day. We might be cool on some nigga shit, but it's like, hey, nigga, but that's the power music has. I know friends that started snorting powder because they was listening to Play a Fly. Nigga, I'm just being honest with you. Like, I know friends that started powder because they was listening to Play a Fly. That was cool. If a nigga you think is cool is doing it, you want to do it. Hip-hop has a responsibility. Nigga, imagine I also know niggas that got in the car about to do something. So they get in the car, the radio turned on, it was a Kirk Franklin song. No, this real talk. He was like, man, I don't think we should do this, man. That's a sign from God, nigga. That's a sign from God, nigga. Like, maybe this ain't the night to do that. Music is more powerful than we want to let on to be. It changes the mood. You could turn on a song that make people want to fuck. I could turn on a song that can make you cry right now if it reminds you of a moment with your grandma. That's how powerful music is. We need a balance, bro. We need a fucking balance, bro. Everybody putting money over everything. Fuck you. Fuck my ops. Everybody my ops. It's just, we need a balance. I don't want to go on the speech, but you can go to me. I'm just saying.
When did you see a cultural shift?
Example, like when the crunk era popped off, right? I'm from Detroit, like, and a lot of people say this. Like when I was at Magic City, I never got so many phone calls during the verses when Jeezy and Gucci. I go to strip clubs a lot. Never get a phone call. I never got so many. You good? Everything okay? Like I'm like, I've been in so many strip clubs with rappers. But the perspective. But I seen the shift when I started with crunk music. I would go when Scrappy and Crime Mob, that whole this, and I would go to clubs clubs. I'm like, I don't know. Where is this at? It was Google. I just like, Libra? All right, we're going to fuck this club. I don't know what hood I'm at. Crucial? Okay. Because I just wanted to see the cultural impact of these niggas in the city. And I was cool with that. I seen how it come, I impacted, and I didn't feel worried. But nowadays, you know, like, I love Dolph, right? And we had cool relationship, everything. I was worried about going to his shows. Like, when it got to the point where it's like, do I feel safe? Do I feel safe? If I go here, will I make it back home type shit? Like, and that's when I seen the shit. And recently, like, my daughter loves Gunna. Like, should I take her to the show? And we went, but it's like, damn, dude, I got to make sure the family good, because this is a responsibility. I'm taking to a show, and I want her to have a good time, but it's a lot. It's street. His crew is, you know, like this. Why this is that? Yeah, like she could be like just in cameras. You know, I put her in a position like that, but I got to be. But that's when I seen the cultural shift when it came about drugs and drug users. Like, you know what I'm saying? It went from that to like, damn, what is this? Like, it's not even no evolution anymore. Like, there was an upgrade. You seen the artists, they had the small chain. Your first album, these niggas in Bentleys and diamond out chains. I'm like, well, fuck, what I'm rooting for you for? Right. You made it, nigga.
I always say that.
You made it, nigga. I wanted to root for the underdog. So the next album, I see the evolution of your shit. But nigga, you on now. You don't need me. Mm-hmm. And I felt kind of disrespected as a fan. You was telling me you don't need me. You rich already. What can I do for you as the fan? You don't need streams. You rich. What am I doing? So I had to find those people that really tapped into artistry and brought value to the music culture and a positive message. Cause
DMX was a street nigga, but he still did. I'm slipping, I'm falling, I can't get up. Come on, that's needed, bro. Like it's okay. If it's any rappers listening, I would just say it's okay to be your motherfucking self. And yourself. Some days we choose violence. Some days we choose peace. Some days we choose our family over everything. And that's okay. And we need more of that, because now everybody rich. The homies is rich. The homies got on chains. Everybody got jewelers. Method Man had a clip where he was like, how the fuck all these rappers on? How they find private jets? Yeah. This nigga Method Man's like, how they find private jets?
He in the Wu-Tang.
Yes, nigga. How they, and I'm saying, but like now, everybody rich. Dog, hip-hop sold his soul. And I think it's a few real niggas out here, like New Face, myself, and that's out here trying to figure out a way to buy that motherfucker back without selling something else. Because right now, we fucked. Yeah.
What era, both of y'all, do you think you represent for, and just real quick, what era do you think you represent in hip-hop? Like the 90s, 80s, 2000s? What era did you grow up in is my question.
What era represents you?
No, which era did you grow up in? Because I'm going to ask a question right after that.
Fully into it, like the 90s.
The 90s, what about you?
90s for sure.
All right, so what era in hip-hop was the best excluding the 90s? Because y'all can't be biased.
Oh, that's easy.
I'm going to go with 80s.
I'm going to go to 80s.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Nigga, dog, let me tell you something. Just do me one favor. Anybody watching this, do me one fucking favor. Go look at LL Cool J I'm Bad video. Nigga, go look at it for the way it was like watching an explosion. Like this nigga was like, it was almost like you would have thought it was tricks on the camera, how he goes from kissing the girl to dapping his man up to jumping on the thing to jumping, crush you like a jelly. Like that nigga was so fucking hungry. And
this nigga was a kid.
Dog, he was 18. Nigga was 18, like nigga, dog, do me any rapper, go watch LL Cool J I'm Bad. Nigga, that nigga performed the fuck out of that record. Like, it was like, God damn. And I think it's 4 verses on that song. Nigga, you ain't tired?
And you ain't getting that now. That's another thing. You getting one verse.
You ain't tired, nigga?
Nowadays.
Okay.
Wait, no, why did you pick the 80s?
Because I seen that influence like firsthand, because I had older cousins and uncles that I seen the influence from that music on them. I seen the Furs start coming out. I seen beepers. I seen what influence looks like as a kid. So it went from, oh, that's how it looked, and then the 90s came. It's like, and then I evolved in that. And I was like, I'm not a gaudy nigga. But I love fashion.
The most famous chain in the 80s was Flavor Flav's clock. Not even diamonds, nigga. Yeah. It was a clock, a big clock. Dog, it's crazy.
All right, so we're gonna play a little game now. Ray's gonna take over this because this is pretty hard, and I want to step out because I do not want any.
So we got
beef
this.
with
We got this clip. We got this part of the show we do called "Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is," and I'm gonna give you 3 options. And if you don't want to pick the option, you have to donate $20. It's nothing to the Creative Academy nonprofit that we have that represents, it's a music program and everything. So I'm gonna give you 3 options. And when I give you the 3 options, you gotta, by the way, Newface said to me, I'm gonna put him on blast. He said to me, I'm gonna pick an answer every time.
Right.
I can't wait for this
All
one.
right.
So
Say
I'm
that
gonna give you 3 options, and then these 3 options, you have to pick sign, develop, drop. If you sign them, you're the head of a label. All these guys are at their peak, and you can sign, you gotta develop one, and you got to drop one. Ready? You ready?
Yep. Let's go.
All right, cool. 8 Ball and MJG, Outkast, UGK.
Oh, that counts. Okay.
Oh, now it's all that kind.
Okay. Okay. Sign, develop. Sign. What's the options again?
Sign, develop, drop.
And say the names again.
8 Ball and MJG, Outkast, UGK.
Signing Outkast. Developing UGK. Dropping ball.
Oh my God!
Ooh, nobody ever.
I just want to say UGK don't have one album in my opinion better than Coming Out Hard, but I understand because nobody was like Pimp C. Pimp C is the illest.
Riding dirty.
All right, you ready for the next one? T.I., Ludacris, Lil Wayne.
Signing Tip, developing Luda, dropping Lil Wayne.
Didn't see that coming.
All right, cool. Monica, Brandy, Sierra.
Developing Monica. Signing Sierra. Dropping Brandy.
All right. Too Short, E40, Ice Cube.
He didn't say it was getting harder though. Too Short, E40, Ice Cube.
You know when they start repeating it, they trying to buy time.
I love it. He going through it. I love it. Let's go.
Signing Ice Cube. Developing. Too Short. For the water, bro. I love you. I love you. The mailman. This round here, we dropping E40.
All right, cool. Rick Ross, Gucci Mane, Jeezy.
Dropping Gucci. Developing Ross, signing Jeezy.
All right. Bobby Brown, Chris Brown, Usher. Shit's hard.
I gotta stand on what I said.
Stand on it now.
Oh man, this is just because I'm a man of my word only.
Let's go.
I'm signing Bobby Brown, developing Chris Brown, and we dropping Usher.
Okay. All right, Usher, you're out of here.
He's standing on it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, cool. We got like 5 more. It's almost there.
Look, he
Oh,
said
this nigga
five.
want $20, goddamn.
No. It gets better. It gets better. It gets better.
No, that's
all right,
getting
it gets
worse.
better. It gets better. It gets better.
Shit.
All right, you ready? Doja Cat, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Signing Cardi, developing Doja, dropping Nicki. Respect means a lot when you respect the culture and you give it back.
Heard
This
that.
nigga's good. He ain't backing down. Neo, Trey Songz, The Dream.
Developing Dream. Signing Neo, dropping Trey Songz.
All right. Jodeci, Boyz II Men, Drew Hill. It's your fun, right? It's your fun.
It's a little intense now.
Now I'm like he said, songs and relationships. Now I'm like, which one had the best girl during that time? Signing Jodeci off top. Developing. What was it? The other
Boyz II Men, Drew Hill.
Developing Drew Hill, dropping Boyz II Men. Shout out to Motown though.
Drop Boyz II Men.
So hard to say goodbye. So hard
Boyz
to say
II
goodbye.
Men.
It's the end of the road.
All right. We got 3 more. I'm gonna get real. It's gonna be. I feel like I'm gonna give you the easiest of the 3, in my opinion. Summer Walker, SZA, Her.
Signing Her. Developing SZA. And dropping Summer Walker.
All right, cool.
It's a generational thing.
Here we go. Jay-Z, Kanye, and Drake.
Signing Jay-Z. Developing Kanye. He needs a lot of development. He needs a lot. And then dropping Drake.
Last one. Tupac, Biggie, DMX.
Oh.
Last one.
Save the best for last, right? Biggie, Jay-Z. That's what you said. You said
Biggie, Jay-Z.
and DMX.
No. Biggie, Tupac, DMX.
Tupac, Biggie, DMX. That's what you said for real. Mm-hmm. Signing Pac. Developing DMX. I go for the heart, bro.
No, you gotta say it out loud.
Off the energy.
Say it out loud.
Oh, shit.
Say it out loud. Say who you dropping. Go ahead. You gotta say it out loud. Come on. Say it. You gotta hear it.
Dog.
Who you dropping?
I'm glad he stood on everyone. I love it.
Man.
He still ain't say who he dropping.
Baby. I'm dropping Biggie, man.
Oh, my God. I just want to say I'm glad I'm not you. Can we give it up? He did that shit. Nobody's ever done that. Everybody winds up paying. That man stood on it. I love it. Tamira, where we at next credit check?
I don't even know if I want to ask I was gonna ask the game-changing moments in hip-hop, the top 5.
Okay, so we do game
He
changer.
just had a
We're gonna do
whole-
credit check, and then we gonna.
His mind
let's
is
go.
like, you gotta get the brain
Now I'm in my
back
head
together.
like now I'm picturing, yo, you work for Bad Boy. Can you sign? You don't fuck with Biggie. You don't fuck with Pop E40 like that. What E40 do to you, new?
No, it's not that bad. Everybody knows it's all love.
Everybody,
but
but to be honest with you, it's a preference, and it's about I get it. Like I would hate to answer those.
yeah,
There's no love lost.
It's just hey, listen, some of the 50 Cent got dropped and became 50 Cent. Alicia Keys some of these artists had to get dropped to go become great. So it's not always a bad thing, but it's your taste.
Preference.
Yeah, it's your preference. L.A. Reid said his favorite artist he ever signed was Outkast. I mean, he signed Bieber, Rihanna, but he said Outkast. That's the greatest act I've ever signed. Like, it's just preference. Go ahead.
all right. So, can you tell me the top 5 game-changing moments in hip hop, in your opinion, your preference?
The switch from shiny suits from Bad Boy to DMX.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, you gonna take it there?
We went from 50 Cent in the club to Kanye West polo sweaters.
Great
And
one.
Timeline.
the evolution in the beginning of trap music. When that came out, oh, that's what we calling it? Then that's what we doing. Trap music. And then one that doesn't just get mentioned enough, like, and it's still running currently, like the impact of women's cultural influence in music.
You just made her day.
Like women, like I have a row of my collection that's full of women, like, and it was women that didn't do what these women are doing today. They taught MC Light, Queen Latifah, Heather B. Like I was listening to all these rat that can really rap. First female to go platinum. So like I always gonna give it up to women's, and that changed it because the people that looked up to them, they saw we can do this because of them. You know what I'm saying? So that I always gonna give that to women. And you said 5.
Yep. So you did 4. You got one more.
Shit, man. When Pac got killed,
Damn.
Ooh.
Hey, boy, this boy hip hop. This nigga, this
Pac,
boy.
when Pac got killed, bro. Like
World stopped.
that just changed like hip hop. That just changed like hip hop was like we off.
Wasn't that the first time a superstar ever was killed in hip hop? Killed. Superstar. I know Scott LaRock.
Yeah, you're
Big
right.
L, but I'm saying like a global superstar was killed in hip hop was Tupac.
Yeah.
Who?
No.
Who?
But
Jam
he
Master
said-
Jay died after Tupac. But even Jam Master Jay, Jam Master Jay didn't die at the peak of Run DMC.
Right.
My Adidas. Tupac died at the peak of All Eyes on Me with his biggest album ever. He's the biggest rap star in the world, and he got killed. Like that was like that. I don't. Yeah, that's different.
And then lastly, I like to include it because I just look at everything what Auto Tune and T-Pain did for the game. And he came out and did that.
Yes, that definitely.
How many people did Auto Tunes and big artists like Hov to say the death of Auto Tunes and that whole relationship and that friction from that. You know what I'm saying? So those are moments that I looked at it like, oh, like, and then just my bonus is like, damn, you had to pick a side between Jeezy and Gucci.
Shit.
You had to too. Like.
Yeah.
So those are like mine.
So this the last thing before we head out, we do this thing. So obviously you work with affiliated with Drink Champs, but everybody do this thing where they say this show is to give people flowers, right? Mm-hmm. I hate that concept, right? Because that comes from giving someone flowers at their death, right? And it's like, let me give you your flowers before you die. We don't give flowers here. We got this section called credit check. Because if you give people credit, they can leverage that credit and go get something. And
That's my favorite clip of you saying that, bro. Like, the money's good, but acknowledge me. You know what that means to a nigga?
Exactly. So this is the moment where we just say to you, who are some people that you would love to give credit to for how New Face got here in the game?
My daughters.
Love that.
My daughters first. My daughters and my mother combined because that, like, I had to leave the house, like, but I had to show them, like, I'm not partying. Like, this, I know it looks like I'm leaving the house, but, like, I was dropping them off at school, tucking them in, reading the books, going out doing my New Face shit to be there to drop them back at school after I did this. And I had to tell them, well, I didn't have to, but this is what I did last night. I gave so-and-so this shirt. I met so-and-so. So when they see fucking Nard hosting wearing a T-shirt that I made in Ludacris Georgia video, they be like, oh, remember I told you I made it? That's when I dropped it. So I do it for them. So I got to give credit to them. Killer Mike is
Love Killer Mike.
is always non-hesitant of embracing me, acknowledging that I'm in the room, speaking my name in rooms that I'm not in, like the Fallon show. Like, bro was on the Fallon show, and the dude said, why did y'all choose to make a Run the Jewels cassette tape? And he could have said whatever he said. He said, no, it's a collector in Atlanta named New Face. And he's like, he went on the whole spiel, and I'm sitting there like, this dude is talking to me on the
Tonight Show.
On the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Again, free. Shit's priceless. My guy Jerry Clark, legendary Jerry.
Shout out to Jerry Clark. Love
Legendary Jerry, man. That's somebody like, again, like, just put me in the room. When he had a podcast, so-and-so's pulling up, bring your shit. And at the end of the show, that drew me to comfort. But he was introducing me to people like the DOC and Manny Fresh and The Dream and Block and legends in my life that I never would. And it wasn't like a crowd. It was a setting like this where it wasn't a line of people, so I can be who I am, and I can have my whole little New Face spiel. And that, again, is priceless. And then my guy Junior Mack, an artist that I work with, a great friend of mine in New Orleans, came down here during Katrina. We bonded at a job. We worked at Hard Rock together, and just seeing him staying with his passion, and we're gonna just see it through. Like, somebody to believe in me. My guy Biddy, another guy that, if I said I was doing something, he believed in me, and like,
Biddy was one of the first people to put me on in the city, introduced me to the city. Shout out to Biddy.
Yeah, man. So, and that's
Cloud
just
9.
priceless. Talk about it. I got DVDs with that shit on it. So that's somebody that, I'm going through this, and these are all people that not just on the surface, like the internet. No, these is people like I can call and they'll answer the phone, like that type shit. Like, and I needed that. And lastly, Carlos, from 85 South Show. Always not hesitant to bring in my name. This episode's 85 that he shout me out that I ain't even in there. New Face was there with this. Oh, let's ask New Face. Like, the relationships that I have, that shit is priceless. So those are the people, you know, in God.
Amen. You know, God in you. Yep. So I only got 2 more questions. How do you feel about the current state of hip hop, and if you could change something, what would you change?
I'll go with what I can change. I would bring back another like self-destruction type song.
Love it.
You know, bring something like that because again, balance. I see too much drug usage, killing, twerking, titties, scamming. I just want balance. You know, if I could say balance, because it's not that I'm opposed to that, but who's doing this? If you're doing that, and I can be in the club, but what you driving to when you're going home? Like, you can't be doing that driving home, washing clothes. Like, when we raised cleaning the house to Anita Baker. So that's what I would change. And the current state of hip hop is, I look at it like a tree. It's going to be ever evolving and growing. And it's not my place to say what I don't like, but let's add water to it, and what you want be the change you want to see in it. So I'm going to celebrate these people while they're here. That's my place in it, but I'm going to give value and shine light on the positive stuff that I like. I'll never talk down on somebody's musical preference, or I won't convert you to what I like, but there's this. This is what I'm on.
Yeah.
Check it out. That's it.
All right, so we are on the God Show, so I have to ask you this. Do you consider yourself a GOAT or underdog?
Underdog.
Why?
Because what I'm doing, I see the value in it, and even when I didn't see it at first, and others people seen it, and now the phone calls and the people that ask me to do stuff, these are people that I looked up to, but I'm always look to myself to an underdog, because when I go home, I'm just daddy.
I love that. But
Daddy.
I'm going to just say, you the GOAT of this memorabilia shit. You are the Fab Five Freddy of our generation, so you are a GOAT, and we celebrate you, and we appreciate you being on the show.
Let the people know where they can find you. Drop all your Instagrams, your website if you have one.
Thank you both.
Sure.
It's an honor to be on this show, and I can't wait to even check it out, to just like watch what I.
The clip's gonna be good. You gonna have them moments where they gonna be like, you're a star.
But you can check me out on Instagram at New Face. My brand's page on Instagram again is Nostalgia 2020. That's my brand, Nostalgia. I have a museum exhibit that I do monthly. We do pop-ups, you know what I'm saying, where I display my memorabilia, and we have artists, black-owned artists that submit their art to sell. My YouTube page, new content is definitely on the way, because we building a documentary. So that's I Am New Face on YouTube.
And that's new with an N-U, not N-E-W.
And I did that because FUBU, the U in FUBU. And New Face stands for Now Under Fashion, All Can Excel. And New Face unites fashion, art, culture, entertainment. So those are, and then just go on Instagram and just look up hashtag New Face.
Follow this brother. I'm telling y'all, like, it's incredible. Like, it's like what hip hop needs right now. It's New Face energy.
And I'm a father first, so the hashtag Daddy Daughter Life, you'll see that, where I just display fatherhoods with daddies and their daughters.
Daughters that was fucked up.
I love that. Your page is like a hip hop time capsule. So
I look at it like a channel, because some people be like,
I wish more people did that.
Much. You got so much post, but when you catch it, you catch it.
Yeah.
I just look at it when you turn on the channel, because everybody say that. I wake up, your post be the first one, and I'll be like,
I'm putting shit out there.
So thank you for taking the time out to sit down with us.
Let's everybody in the room give it up for New Face. Let's all clap for New Face. This is the God Show, and we are out.